moving reckless. I snatch you right out your Lexus. I'm moving blocks like it's Tetris. 100,000 by breakfast.
Welcome back to It Is What It Is. I'm Treasure Wilson, aka Stat Baby, with your hosts Cam and Mace.
Yeah.
How we feeling?
That's good, boy.
I got that Carolina blue on. He got the Duke on.
Yeah, man. You know who won more championships?
Hey,
Ooh.
champ. You know where the GOAT from.
Yeah, man. Listen, Mike Krzyzewski's the GOAT. College basketball.
Telling you right now. Okay, so we have a special episode today.
Yeah.
But right now, we know the NBA playoffs are in full swing. There are the winners and the losers. But overall, what players and teams do you think have the most to prove?
The most approved, I would say, Joel Embiid and James
Harden.
Yeah, you know, Joel Embiid. A lot of people probably don't even remember that he first started saying about 10 years ago, trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust
When
the
is the
process.
process?
God damn, my
Yeah,
nigga.
how long is this process?
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I respect the process, but where's the finished product? You know what I'm saying? So if it's most approved, I'm going to say that because James Harden also left to get a championship. He turned down $103 million for 2 years to join a championship team. It wasn't Philadelphia at first. It was the Nets. Ended up in Philadelphia. You know, his man Daryl Morey got him over there.
Yeah, and he in shape, so there's no excuses.
Right, but I would say those are the most approved as a team. Individually, you got Chris Paul.
Yeah. Chris Paul is definitely on the clock.
Yes, you got Chris Paul. You have, I would say, Kawhi Leonard because you made that move to LA and it hasn't panned out since.
I forgot about Kawhi.
Yes.
Kawhi, you're on the clock too.
Yeah, so those are the two individual players I would say have the most to prove. But as far as a team and a duo, it's Joel and James Harden.
And the Knicks have nothing to prove.
If the Knicks make it to the second round, we're happy as New Yorkers. We're just happy that them niggas win a fucking game. But
Yes.
Okay, and with that, we'll be right back.
pink horsepower.
She called this thing about toxic.
What's happening, baby? Baby, what's happening?
Why you walking like that?
That's how I walk.
And then like you come on breathing on me like that.
I fucking breathe to live.
And like you used to be dark skinned and now you act like hella light skinned.
Are you fucking blind? I'm dark skinned. What the fuck?
And then like look at your beard.
What the fuck is wrong
Your
with
beard
my
looks
beard?
stupid.
What the fuck are you talking about?
No, I don't even like it. The way you breathe in, all of that.
Has this ever happened to you? Your girl seems to be mad, angry, upset. She's frustrated. It's only one way to handle that. Pink horsepower.
With your breath is really refreshing.
No.
I'm just trying to give you a massage. Plus, have I told you how good your beard looks lately? It looks so good.
No.
PHP. It works every time.
Wait, where you going?
Welcome back. So today we have special guest and NBA All-Star Jayson Williams. Hailing from the Lower East Side of Manhattan, the Phoenix Suns selected him as the 21st pick in the 1990 NBA Draft. He was then traded to the 76ers, and then after he ended up with the New Jersey Nets, which is now known as the Brooklyn Nets. In '97, he led the league in offensive rebounds, and he played in the 1998 NBA All-Star Game. His career came to an end after he broke his leg in a collision on the court. After he faced some legal incidents throughout the years, with one major incident that sentenced him to 5 years in prison. During his sentence, he was moved to Rikers Island. Since being released, he strives to help prisoners, athletes, and citizens with anxiety, drugs, and depression through his Rebound Adventure Therapy program. He also speaks out on athlete mental health. Thank you for being here, Jayson.
Hell of an intro, man.
Right. Oh, Lord. It is what it is. Thanks for having me.
No, man,
I'm
thank
not
you for
Cam.
coming,
Thanks,
man.
Mace.
Nah,
Great job.
anytime,
Thank
man.
you very
Yes.
much.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for coming up, man.
Anytime, brother. You know
That's
that.
what's going on.
One love.
Yep. So listen, I want to start by asking you.
Yeah.
You know, you played in the 90s.
Mhm.
What do you think about today's NBA? Is it soft compared to when you played?
Yeah, for a lot of reasons. See,
Yeah.
first of all, like I'm never gonna get back on NBA basketball when I
Okay.
answer this question, right?
Right.
Because they're gonna say, "Oh, Jay going against the league,"
Right.
you know. So they find the brothers who are a little lighter skinned than I am, put them on there. But I'm gonna tell it like it is because I was doing this before Charles Barkley was doing this.
Right.
Remember, I was on NBC.
There you
I was the
go.
one who brought the humor to it.
Right.
You know, but this is the difference. When me and Oakley and all the other guys, Barkley, we didn't have no Instagram and this, you know,
Right.
we
Yeah.
barely had cell phones.
Yeah.
Right.
So number one was when we saw each other for real.
Right.
You know, it was
You
like,
couldn't
yeah,
type-
right.
you couldn't
type
What
on
was
the
that?
site.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When we
Y'all
were
fighting
we
for
was
real?
fighting, yeah, man. So like, you see, cause
Off the court, the race, and you had fights with Charles Barkley, Oakley.
all of us, man, because you know what? Say
We
you out with
gotta
some
get
chick and
into
somebody said, "Oh, you know what she said about you and this and that." Oh, he said that, huh?
Wow.
It wasn't like we can get on Instagram and be like a studio gangsters,
Right,
You know, so we
exactly.
brought it to the court,
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Or we go around, you know,
And-
New York and New York. In New Jersey Nets, same kind of area, right?
Right.
So we go
Same
bar to
energy.
bar looking for her.
Right.
You know, you
Yeah.
can't find them, but you know, sooner or later, you're gonna have to be at the Garden.
That's a
And
fact.
that's when, right? That's
That's
a
a
fact.
fact. That's
and
a
that's when
fact.
we got it on. So, you know, Adam Silver wanted more scoring.
Right.
He talked
Yeah.
David Stern into getting away with the hand check.
Right.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know, look, you know, y'all
Yeah, I was
play.
telling him
You know what I'm
about
saying?
that,
Yeah.
the
If you-
arm bar.
Yeah, right. So, you know,
Derek
once you put
Harper.
that on there,
Yeah.
you can't move. But
Yeah.
if you do move, I know which way you're going.
Right.
So I can get there.
Yeah.
Now, if you can't touch a man, he's just right by
Yeah,
you.
he
Right.
can shake
You
you,
know what I'm
out your
saying?
shoes
So
now.
a lot more scoring, and then you know, like the All-Star game. You know, like when we came in, let me tell you a funny story about the All-Star game.
Right.
So my first year in the league, my first two games were Michael Jordan and then Larry Bird.
Wow.
Now, Michael Jordan was first game. I'm there, it's half court stretching out, and then the whole place erupts. Mike come running out, and I'm like, oh man. He runs up to me and goes, hey, Jace, you're gonna have a great career. And then the place was, I was like, damn, that was Michael Jordan. Now I'm not. Now I got, you know, basketball never made me nervous.
Right.
But now I'm nervous.
Mike
They-
runs up to you,
Yeah.
and I might have to call Cap on that.
Yeah.
Mike runs out and just tell you, you're going to have a
Great career.
career.
Me, I was at half court. He wasn't even on the layup line. He came out like 8 minutes late. I didn't know why the crowd was going crazy.
Right.
You know, so make a long story long, he gave me that, hey, Jace, you're going to have a great career, right? And I was like, it got for real there. They put me in the first play of the game. You know, when they put me in, the ball came off, should be easy rebound, bounced off my head, went out of bounds, took me out.
Yeah.
That's all right. Now we go to play Boston Celtics the next night.
Yeah.
We're gonna play against Larry Bird, right?
Right.
Now you understand why we grew up.
Yeah.
I'm on the Lower East Side. So on this side of the bridge, you know, we all Julius
Yeah,
Erving.
we know.
The other side is Knickerbocker. They
Right.
all Boston Celtics.
Right.
You can't play bad. You know
Right.
what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna tear Larry Bird's ass. So Larry heard me say him to the coach, put me in, because Charles Barkley came in drunk as hell, right?
Right.
He was hurting that day. So Larry Bird was like, oh, you've been out all night, huh?
Right.
Poof, take that. Then he went over to Rick Mahorn. Come on, Rick, you can't check me. You too big. Boom, finish
Wow.
Rick off. Then he went over to Army Gillian. Come on, Army, you still colorblind? Bring your ass out here. Boom. So I'm the only
Bird
one
was
left.
talking crazy
Yeah,
like
always
that?
talking, man. So
Yo,
I'm
Bird.
saying, yeah, so I'm like, put me in, coach. And the guy, coach, I'm the only one left, right? So he put me in. So I went out there, I said, come on, man, let's go.
Yeah.
Go. He gave me a pump fake, man, back in the day. I could jump that high. I jumped up in there, came back down. He said, stupid, bap, hit a three.
Right.
So I was like, okay, next time I ain't gonna jump. So he looked at me and said, oh, you ain't gonna jump? Bap, hit another
How
one.
much Bird had that?
Well, let me tell you something.
Let me
Hey,
finish.
hey, Mace, he came back down again,
Yeah.
right? I said, I bet you can't take me on the post. Gave me one of these, run on the post, and went around and dunked it. Now I'm running back down, listening to what my daddy said. Boy, you should have been a brick mason. You know what I'm saying? Shit, maybe I can't play in this damn league. These boys is good. So I ran back down. I told him, I said, look, you want to fight? So I just started grabbing him.
Right.
Just grabbing him, just started told him. So now second half starts, and the same thing. Larry started lighting up one. And, you know, lighting up another one.
Yeah.
Lighting up another one. When they get to me at the end of the bench, I started looking up in the stands with the fans. I was like, please don't put me back in.
Right.
Now that's the only punk story you're gonna get from me because I was scared to go in the game to play against Larry Bird.
Who
And then when I got to the rookie team, the All-Star game,
Yeah.
yeah. So I get there early. You know, you see I get to the show early. I get everywhere early, want to be prepared. I walk in, and Larry Bird's the coach. I said, I ain't seen this month. So he says, nothing. I said, hey, what's up, coach? He ain't say nothing. And then he thought about it. He said, your minutes are on the refrigerator, mother effing rookie. Because that's what he had called me. Yeah. He called me and put the MF the rookie in the game way back.
Crazy.
So, and that's the only thing he said to me. But he said, look, we get 50,000 if we win, 25 if we lose. I want to win.
Right.
Now, I went a long way to tell you about the All-Star game.
Yeah, right.
You know, we got more money, but now, you know, so we played harder. Plus, it was much more pride, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It was, you know, look, I heard people say when my mom kissed my dad before he went to work, she knew she wasn't gonna see him for another 12 hours.
Right, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? That's how we were in the NBA. We weren't gonna see you till we see you in another game. And you got the best of me, but now y'all just, you know, these kids get on the computer, it's like they still playing each other.
Yeah, absolutely.
And everybody's friends.
Right. Who was the biggest shit talker now that we're talking about this that you played against? Who talked the most shit that you like?
The dirtiest player was the Reverend, excuse me. You know, excuse me, Mason. You know, AC Green.
Oh man,
man, you know, all the time preaching and all the time reaching. Yeah. You know, yes sir. AC Green was the dirtiest preacher I've ever seen. You know, that is truth there, man.
Who's your GOAT though? Who's the GOAT?
Who's your GOAT?
Yeah.
Man, Will Chamberlain.
Oh man,
you know why?
Right,
because you know now you know Will Chamberlain was my mentor.
Right.
But he played every game every minute of every second, right, and didn't foul out for a whole season in some damn Chuck Taylors.
Wow.
Right? These guys got sneakers now that come from Mars, and they have load management. Right? They're 3 or 4 days, day out. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yo, this dude damn near playing barefoot.
Yeah.
You gave somebody some Chuck Taylors right now, right? They can't wait to get them all.
That's a fact.
That's true.
You know?
I seen the one where Michael Jordan said his first thing, his feet was bleeding in them.
Yeah.
And he played at the Garden, man.
And Kareem played in the show, Toes.
Yeah, Kareem too. He went to my high school, you know.
Right.
So I saw Kareem one time in Harlem, right? I was like, hey, Kareem, how you doing? It's Jayson Williams. I went to the high school. I was in the league. He said, fuck you.
Yeah.
I said, God.
I don't hear no good stories about
I
Kareem,
said,
man.
damn, Kareem.
Kareem.
Maybe
I'm
because
on
you
my
call
way
him.
to Sylvia's.
Maybe because you call him Kareem.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's what you want me to call him. Mel Cylinder? Lou Alcindor? But he had changed it to Kareem.
Oh,
I
he
think
had changed it to
he
Kareem.
probably would have whipped my ass.
I'm about to say, you better not call that nigga Lou Alcindor, nigga. Smack fire.
Try to set him up. Call him.
What do you think about the comparison? And you know you're older player, so I may know what you're gonna say. But LeBron and Michael Jordan, what do you think about that comparison?
Yeah,
Being that you played against Mike as well.
It's a comparison that gets me in trouble because like one of my best friends who got me out of a lot of trouble and sent me where we'll talk about later is Charles Oakley, right? And Charles Oakley is like LeBron's nephew,
Cleveland nigga.
uncle,
He's from Cleveland
you know,
nigga.
and Michael Jordan's his best friend, right?
Yeah.
So he caught in the conundrum.
Yeah.
So I answer that question depending on how much he feeling that day, right?
Right.
Now, why you say that about Michael? You know, that's the old. Why you say that about LeBron?
Right.
But in the beginning, I think Michael was more of a killer, right?
Right.
See, look, I'm telling you for real. You know, LeBron James is a freak athlete.
Yeah.
LeBron James came to play, but Michael Jordan played every game, right? He was
Right.
like, you know, he didn't sit out. Michael Jordan has not done as much for the community.
But see,
to talk
I
about.
say that. I say that he get mad.
So you are
I say the same thing you said.
Right.
I said the same
But he has
thing
done
you
a
said.
lot.
That's what I said. I said the same thing.
All right.
I said the same thing.
I can tell you something.
I said the same thing. He don't want to outside.
Bill Clinton, Ronald Reagan. We talking basketball.
All right. So this is the difference. Michael Jordan be smacking on that gum, right? And you foul him, he'd be like, go ahead, do that shit again. You see what happened to you after the game. See? You know.
Mike stepped out after the game?
Yeah, Mike's after the game guy.
Mike
And let me tell you, after the game, he got the brothers with the feather in the cap. Them old cats.
Yeah.
65 sit at the bar, put one bullet in at a time, you know, drink a whiskey. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got no this young
ask you a question.
holding the gun upside down.
Let me ask you a question. Do you know a story that Mike and these niggas with the feathers in the hat stepped to somebody before?
Man,
Or
you
just
really
heard
gonna
about
get
it?
me in trouble. I seen him. You seen him? You don't mess with Michael. Let me tell you what Michael Jordan do, man. Michael Jordan used to park his Lamborghini, and we didn't have no Lamborghini. We was just getting off Cadillac going into Mercedes.
Right.
You know? And he'd park his Lamborghini in front of the visitor. So that's us.
Right.
And then we had to slide across his door to get in there. I remember we had to play with Kerry Kittles one time. Kerry was like, who call is this?
Right.
I said, I don't want no deal for me because I ain't have to check him. I
Right.
said, Michael Jordan. He said, oh, shit.
Right.
You know? But
Right.
hey,
Kerry
that's the kind of
Kittles? I
game
like
he
Kerry
played.
Kittles,
And take you out in Chicago, take you out all night, right? Because he has,
Lullaby.
he had his own restaurant.
Yeah.
And they act like he up in there drinking water, you know, and we up in there drinking spirits. Next
Yeah.
day, he flying all over you. Not that he had to, and not to take anything from LeBron.
Yeah.
You know, they just two different type of players. They both great. So, you know, I'm always gonna go with my era.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My era.
Right. Who is your championship pick for this year?
I'm gonna tell you something. I get emotional when we talk. I was rooting for Dallas,
Yeah.
believe it or not, because let me tell you something. Nobody has done more for people that look like us sitting here on this panel for drugs and alcohol and treatment than Mark Cuban. You know, Mark Cuban sees somebody stuff, he'll call you Jay. I got this guy.
Did
I
that
got this
Delonte
woman.
West too, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, I got this person. Well, you have to be. Get this person better. Now, you know, the NBA don't do that. Once you finish, I understand that. I'm finished with them. So he'll go over and then you go to the next cat, right?
Is that mostly for Dallas Mavericks?
No,
player or
it
everybody?
could be for anybody, man.
Anybody.
It could be for anybody. So I kind of put my allegiance toward him.
Yeah.
And then when Kyrie went over there, I was like, all right, we're going to change this thing and it was going to go, you know, the way it is. But it looks like so far, you know, Phoenix, you know, and Phoenix looks pretty good,
Can't
but
go with Dallas as
you
much
know,
as everything you said
yeah,
about
you know,
Pop-
but yeah,
Pop-
you know, Mark Cuban's,
that
you know,
shit ain't
You
working
can
yeah,
party with Mark Cuban, but
yeah.
you gotta go with Phoenix.
Yeah,
but-
that shit ain't working out. with
Yeah,
Kyrie.
but
That
that's
shit
true.
ain't going good.
And then I like Milwaukee.
So
like
you got
Milwaukee.
a Phoenix against
Good,
Milwaukee.
good choices.
Now, who you taking, Giannis or Durant?
That's tough. Y'all got Durant on the show. Giannis been on here yet?
I'm going with Durant.
I'm
no
going.
matter
So I'm
what.
going with
Yeah.
Durant because
I'm
he been on the
going-
show.
Yeah, we
All
go
right.
with
All
Durant.
right.
He ain't been here yet,
Yeah,
but
right.
that's the hope he's coming up.
All
man.
right,
But at the
all
end
right.
of the day, I
All
don't
right.
go against Kevin Durant for nobody.
Right.
That's just me. He dipset and all. That's part of the family, man. So, who was your toughest competition, I would ask you, playing ever? Person who gave you the hardest time.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Oakley.
Charles Oakley. More than
Yeah.
Barkley.
You know, more than Barkley. Look, man, Charles Barkley, I played with him for 2 years, right?
All
Yeah.
right.
And I played with Michael Jordan in the All-Star games. So I had a chance to practice with them both.
Yeah.
Right? See, Charles Barkley would fight you if you play him too hard in practice.
Wow.
Charles Michael Jordan would fight you if you wasn't playing him hard enough. You get it? So we'd be in the practice and we'd be looking for Charles. Where Charles at? And then Charles ordered, so he'd be on the side riding a bike. And he used to come in with the hotcakes and sausage. He'll put them in there and he'll roll them up and put the syrup in the
In
butter
practice?
and squeeze it. And then just be on the bike while 1 mile an hour, eating it. Once y'all run the floor, you lazy sons of bitches. That's why we can't never win. We ain't gonna never win shit. And pancakes and shit be
He's
spitting
spitting
all
out
over
his
the floor.
mouth.
I played with him for 2 years. He practiced 2 times. And I probably had to get in 10 fights for him. You know, every time he went somewhere. And, you know, I was his bodyguard. Jay, man, you heard what the dude said about me? Knock him out. You know, then my fine came, then my check come. My daddy, it was just me and my daddy. He'd be like, man, you owe these people money. You
So
know?
Barkley only
bit.
practiced 2 times.
2 times in 2 years.
In 2 years.
Yeah.
Oakley.
Yeah, Oakley. Now, Oakley was my guy when I went on the court. Me, him, and Bruce Smith we had Big Daddies. We had Big Daddies is a place that I owned, and we were in there drinking till about 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. And Oakley looked over at me and he said, hey, man, you best to get home, young buck. And I said, get home? He said, yeah, you got a game tomorrow. So who we play? He said, we play you. I said, what time is it? 1 o'clock. It's a 1 o'clock game on NBC at the Garden.
Wow.
So I figured, yo, he came in my place, hooked him with some drinks, you're gonna be all right.
Right.
You know, it's gonna be like one of the games of today's era.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So I walked up to him, I said, hey man, boy, I sure am sick, man. We tore it up last night. You good? He's like, I feel great. So I was like, man, that was kind of something. The ball went up, he said, pow! Hit me right in the mouth.
Wow.
You know, and then that was on. So me and him just wrestled the whole game. Nobody's watching nothing going on with basketball.
Right.
It was just me and him just slumping each other on the ground.
Nice.
You know, but nothing dirty. You know,
Nah.
but just he is the toughest guy.
That
you
is.
know,
That's
and it's just
what's
like when we go to Miami, man. Like Miami was never that good.
Right.
You know how it is when you get from New Jersey, you get off the plane in Miami.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
Basketball is the last thing on your mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They had like 3 buses. You know, the superstar bus, the white boy bus. You know, that was the
Right.
only bus that got there on time. The guys that didn't play.
Right.
You know, and then my bus.
Right.
You know,
What was on your bus? What was on your bus?
just me and the driver. You know, trying to catch up to the first bus so we don't get fined.
Right.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she really thinking about it. She wanna be free. Why am I in this woman way free?
Welcome back. Okay, so Jayson, after your time in the league, you faced a very different route. What happened in between?
Well, I got hurt playing in an NBA game. That kind of set me on a way of not being in front of the fans and losing a lot of self-esteem. But I got picked up right away by NBC. And NBC, I was to Charles Barkley, like I told y'all before Charles Barkley, brought some humor in there, but something was missing. You know, Cam made something was missing, man. I just the roar of the crowd, I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, when you go to reporter, you know, and now, you know, people look at you different, teammates, you know,
And you
stop.
still was young. It
You
wasn't
still
like
was young,
yeah.
right? And people, you know, stop talking to you. But the biggest thing, I lost my routine. See, I used to get up in the morning when I had a game, feed my animals, and then I'll get on my tractor trailer, you know, 18-wheeler, and go drop off a dozer, then go to shoot around, you know, and then my dad had me come back, lay brick, and then I go play a basketball game, NBA game. That was my life.
Yeah.
You know, and then once I got hurt, I was just laying in the bed and, you know, mad at my friends as the new friends come in, and well, that's the problem.
Yeah.
When you let new friends in, you let old friends know your routine. All right, Jay, you had 2 tonight. You got to get up. You got to go leave. Now, well, nah, what I got to leave for? So my new friends would say, Jay, man, the hell with that, man. You ain't working but 1 day a week. And, you know, just started drinking too much and started getting reckless. But one night in particular, I bought I don't know if y'all know, but I lost 3 sisters. 2 sisters to AIDS. A guy once, when I was 13 years old, followed my sister into the house, stabbed her 17 times and beat her over the head with a hammer. We had to take down all the mirrors in our house because she was deformed, but she went to get a blood transfusion and she became the first woman in New York City to catch the AIDS virus. And it's not like when you have it now, there's ways you can deal with it. When you get it there, you die in 6 months. My other sister, Laura, you know, started, you know, trying to soothe her and started using drugs with her because they both got hooked on meth and heroin. And so I ended up losing both sisters there. And then
Sorry
I had
to hear that,
another,
man.
thank you, man. Then I had another sister who I love so much. Her husband had a bad day and came home and had too much to drink and took a shotgun and blew her head off. Then killed himself. So, but my 2 first sisters, they
How
had
old were you when this happened?
14.
Both of these
Well,
things?
yeah, 14
Damn.
with my first 2 sisters. But understand, my dad had jobs, my mom had jobs. You know, my dad was a truck driver, and then he had a gas station on 151st and 7th, and then he also laid
know that
brick.
gas station,
Yeah,
too.
you know, yeah. So he, he
Burn
had
the
to
whole
do that.
stomping grounds over there.
Yeah, right across from the tennis court. So, but I had to sign with St. John's.
Yeah.
And then after school, so I couldn't let them go to foster care.
Yeah.
My mom wasn't working, so I moved them in with me. So they just a few years younger than me. Like I'm 18 at this time. One is 11, one is 8. And, I wake up the little boy first in Queens and drive him to Manhattan, then come back and wake up the girl, who's my daughter adoptedly now, legally, and then wake them up because if not, Children Child Services would take them. So, then get her to school, and then I had to go to school, then after school go Manhattan, pick them up, then go to Queens, pick them up, then bring them to practice, let them run around.
Wow.
St. John's University was not kind enough to let that happen. And then I would, have to bring them home, get them washed up, give them food, help them with their homework, and then put them to bed. I had to do the same thing and still try to do what an 18-year-old does, playing at the most famous university in the world in New York City.
Right.
So I had them issues. And when we fast forward to the accident that I caused in 2002.
Well, before you get there, do you think the things that you went through when you were young played any role in your adult life?
Yeah, I think when you have a African American father and a white mother, 50 years ago, it's not like it is now. We see every commercial.
Yeah.
So my dad and mom have both been married before. So my mother married a Spanish man, so she had Spanish daughters. My dad had African American kids. And then I moved to the deep South because they thought it was, a good time to move away from racism from, New York City. And then we moved to a little town called Ritter, South Carolina. And most people haven't even seen a white person, let alone a white and a black together in a high yellow like myself. So I had to use my imagination and play by myself. So a lot of times, but I knew something was off because I said, you know what? Even though I got beat up when I came every day on the bus, I couldn't tell my dad because he would go hurt somebody. And even when my uncle did something to me, I couldn't tell my dad what his brother did because I know he would have killed him and I wouldn't have seen him.
What did his brother do?
Yeah, my uncle molested me, and that's the nice way to say it.
Wow.
So if there is a nice way to say it, that's the easy way to say it. But what we did do is I knew that I had to keep my family together at all times. So I couldn't sell. When my dad went to his grave not knowing that. I've always been about keeping my core people, and that's what killed me, Mace. That's what killed me. I mean, if you fast forward to it, like I'm a core person. Like you, my crew, if you with me, I roll with you.
That's why I was getting at that, because as I was following your story, that's the first thing I thought about. I was thinking something, and I shared this with Cam. I said something had to happen young for the things that transpired later, because me being a person outside of music and stuff, I did a lot of training and therapy and stuff like that. So I kind of understood that. So all of the actions that you were making, I was able to follow that, like not therapeutic, but therapeutic, you know, and noticing that these things happen and they never went away. So even though you got older and you got money, like we was talking about the Gary Coleman syndrome, it's like those things don't leave because you got money. So it's like, I didn't know exactly what happened, but you made mention in one of your documentaries or the conversation where you said somebody broke a pool table, a pool stick over the head because of something that happened, and I was gonna ask you, what was that? But I guess this was that thing that made him break the pool stick over his head.
Right.
So as you got older, did anything change? Was this a one-time thing? Was this like, just for the listeners who are listening?
You know what? It didn't. Let's fast forward over the accident. Let's go 23 years to where we are today. So about 5 months ago, I got elected into the St. John's Hall of Fame.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
I gave more money to St. John's. I'm the only player to ever donate money to St. John's. I donated $2.1 million.
The only player?
Yeah.
What about Mark Jackson?
You know, Mark is, you know how you preachers get. Y'all get frugal.
Camera on me, Mark. There's your benevolence, Mark.
you know?
Come
You
on,
know?
Mark.
Yeah. I remember I used to come to the church, I come a little late, they say, oh, you know, we're gonna
Mark
pass
ain't
that
get
play
no
to girl
donation.
one more time.
Right.
No,
Mark ain't
Mark
getting
ain't
no
make no
donation.
donation. I love him, but he didn't make none.
Mark, come
I'm the
on,
only player
Mark.
ever.
2.1. Let's
Only
be
player
clear.
ever.
Let's be
Luke
clear.
Sega would not like that,
You
Mark.
know? For the only
But you
player
said
ever.
you fast forward to 23 years later.
Right, that they give me an award, and the night before, my manager wakes me up and says, hey man, your kids just put out a press release on you.
Yeah.
And the press release was, saying he's not a good father, y'all shouldn't give him an award. And then St. John's came back and said, hey, we give him an award on what he's been through, a lot of trauma when he was a kid, and that he's been great here, and he runs a treatment center for drugs and alcohol, and has helped 325 people save lives, and they put that all in there. But the one thing that hit me was when he said trauma. I was like, I never had no trauma.
Yeah.
Because trauma mean like my daddy wasn't protecting me. My daddy's my own everything. He protected me, him and my mama. So that word stuck with me. But see, trauma is not the actual event. It's how we remember it.
Exactly.
That's the trauma. And I did have trauma. Because you know how we are in our family, if something happens to us, we go to the funeral and then we tell what we love about it and we have some laughs about it, we cry, and then we the next man up. So when people say, how can you raise 2 children in college? It's impossible.
Right.
It's just, I'm the next person up.
Right.
But you deal with a lot of stuff and then you keep building it up. And then when you have a treatment center, you can hear other people and I could be a warning or an example to them down in rebound, and you got to walk, a certain way.
Yeah.
And got to, so, it's not a way I deflect, but going back, if you want to go back to the night of the accident, that was with my dad, who's my best friend, who was with me everywhere, not what the press says it is. It was my dad, my children now who were with me at St. John's, I adopted, and their children. Mm-hmm. So my grandchildren went to watch the Globetrotters. And there was a couple of Globetrotters playing that will play with me with the Nets. And I didn't like that. I said, nah, man, they must need some money. So I said, man, when y'all finish, come back by my house.
Not to cut you off, you didn't like it because they were former NBA players that had to subject themselves to go play at the Globetrotters?
Yes, and not to say the Globetrotters, if they weren't, they had to play for the Globetrotters.
More of the story, you didn't like it.
I didn't like it, and I'm not taking anything away from the Globetrotters.
Right.
And I like these 2 guys. And so I said, hey man, when it comes over, come to my house, I'll give you some money. And we went out, get something to eat, went over to the house. We ate, the limousine driver, Mr. Gustafi, family, was family with us. He came in and he ate with us in the restaurant, and then we all got in the car to go over. And I've never met him before in my life, Mr. Gustafi, the limousine driver. And I went home, and to be real, instead of showing people the Picassos that I had, gotten and everything else, I went into my bedroom where I have all these guns that are locked up, and because we have skeet machines, and somebody have given me some nice shotguns in there. And
What's a skeet machine for those who don't know?
A skeet machine is where they throw clay up and you go, so it's shotguns, it wasn't pistols. And I was showing it to him, and while I was passing one out, when I passed one this way, and the gun went off and it hit Mr. Safi in the chest. And
So how many did you pass out before
Probably
that?
about 7 or 8, and I didn't even know
that was
he
the
was
last
there.
gun?
It was the last one. And I didn't even see him there. And, I thought he'd be in the car. I thought everybody, and I was just doing that. So now I'm going to go back, get the money, give it to them going their way. But I acted like a coward. I ran and then jumped in the pool. They said I was in shock. And anything, I tell you this, I don't wake up any day not feeling remorse or sorry and repentful for what I have done. So I'm not proud of it. And, I talk all around the country about gun safety. You couldn't give me a gun. I see a young man but standing behind us with 2 of them, like that wouldn't have bothered me back then. Today it does. And when if you ask me the question, Cam, why do we ever carry guns as famous as we are? You know what? it's never because we gonna get robbed in the club. It's just because that new inner circle we let in. And we would have stuck with our same old boys where we grew up in, the people that helped you out. You know what I'm saying? It's that we get that new group, we bring in a new group, and then you gotta let them know, yo, I ain't no sucker, right? And so, and if it ain't, you ain't gonna be blackmailing or doing something like this, and your self-esteem is gone. And when self-esteem is gone, you drink yourself
What would they
to
be
death.
blackmailing you off?
Well, anything. They know where your money is. You know what I'm saying? They know you might not be home with your wife when you're supposed to be. Anything. They could beat anything with it.
Speaking of that, with this particular situation that we're talking about now, when you was going trial or when you was home waiting to go to trial or anything like that, did one of your friends try to extort you for money or a job or something like that, Mr. Benjamin?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
How did that go?
Wow. It's funny that you say that because I just did an autograph signing last week and he was there.
Wow.
And my manager's a Christian guy and Curtis Martin prays with us every Wednesday. We have a conversation.
Right.
And he walked in, man, and now older Jayson, look, the person who did that to my sister, they found him. His name was Sergio.
Right.
And then they brought him to me and said, Jay, Apache. He said, Jake, shoot this guy. He's the one who killed both your sisters. Gave me a gun, I didn't do it. I'm not a killer.
Right.
And then for 4 or 5 years, go around the neighborhood, Jay ain't no killer. Jay ain't no killer. But so now we go into a situation where
And this
it
is
goes.
This is before the incident?
Yeah, this is right. We caught them, before I was even, 19, 18 years old. But now we fast forward to Benoit, Benoit wanted some money for to say, I said, look, bro, just tell the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell the truth, man.
Right.
And he might have been in a bad position, and that's what I told my lawyer. He's in a bad position. Let me just take care of him. I ain't buying the truth.
Right.
Let's let this thing go away. My lawyer said, no, you can't do that, Jay. And then I ended up seeing him last week at an autograph signing, and he just came up to me and this close and was hugging me and like, man, Jay, you remember when we was crazy? Like not even remembering all the stuff he has caused.
Right.
But,
Right.
I started crying because.
What did you do? Not to fast forward from your visit, from you seeing him last week, but when that actually happened, what was your reaction? Like, what do you mean you want some money from me? What do you mean give you a job for your testimony? How did you handle that friendship? Did you see him in between?
Nah, but my thing was, what is the NBA player asking for this low amount for? Just give it to him to tell the truth and let's get up, give it to him. That's what I said.
Benjamin, the basketball dude?
Yeah, I was like, give it to him. So I said, I was just like, this is a long time ago with my lawyers, sometimes lawyers want to make stuff drag out.
Protect you.
You know what I'm saying? And protect you. So I don't know. But regardless, man, they put him on the stand. Everybody else said one thing, he said another. Jury saw it my way. They know it was an accident. It's just that what I did after the accident, which I take full responsibility for, man. And, but seeing him, and him hugging me, man, it was a good chance. I wanted to let all the little kids outside and lock the door on him. But you know what? God has taken me so far, right now, helping people, that man. If I had did that,
I love God too.
Cam, I would have gave
that
it back,
much.
man. But let me tell you something. Let me tell you, man,
together.
at the very end, he came up to me and I said, I'm out, man. And I even told him I'm out. And he ran up to me and he came and was this close to my face and he said, Jay, I need help, man. I need help. And I said, look here, man. He says, take me with you. I said, look, man, I'm clean and sober. I run a treatment center down here. 7 years. He was like,
last week,
yeah,
he asked you to take him with you?
Yeah. And you know what, man? And this is God's honest truth,
some
man.
Cool niggas. I would slap the shit out, but fuck you mean you coming with me
I
you try to extort me for testimony that could have possibly sent me to jail for the rest of my life if they didn't see a manslaughter for money or job. It ended up getting wiped away. You see him however many years later, nigga like, yo, can I go with you? Yeah. Nah, you might just I might spit on him.
Tell you, man, and it was hard. It was a weird, hard day getting out of there, and then a week later, people were saying that Benoit was calling them because he got everybody's number, and then I called the NBA and said, would y'all mind if I help Benoit get into rebound because it looks like he's going through some issues. And he said, well, he just called up to you and cursed us out right now. But let us get back to you. So, and like a person like that, I call Mark Cuban and say, hey man, maybe we can help this person, or maybe not. Or Mark might say, same thing you just said. Man, that dude just tried to lie and put you in jail for the rest of your life, Jay. You can't save everybody. So that's where it goes,
Let me ask you something. When you make this statement, I take full responsibility, what does that mean?
That means for leaving the accident and causing it too. Because look, man, I could have been showing them my pictures. I could have shown my old cars, new cars, my tractor trailers I drive every day. Here I am showing guns. You know what I'm saying? If I was with my older group, my people, my college coach and everybody, they would say, Jay, what the hell are you showing that gun for? What you showing them that for? They in the case, they could see, you know what I'm saying? But something was off. Probably didn't trust something or, but there wasn't like it was handguns. It was just shotguns that we used shooting skeet, which I shot every day. But, still shouldn't have been around it.
Yeah, but what makes you say I took full responsibility? What does
because
that
if I would have
like?
never went to that case, Mr. Christophe would still be alive.
That's what I'm talking about.
He'd still be alive. I couldn't control that accident.
So you end up going to jail. How was it? What was your time like while you was in jail?
It ain't no joke. These little kids out here running around now, they think, let's go with the simple stuff first. Cam, they say, well, yeah, man, I can do time. I ain't worrying about it. Maybe these little, rugrats can do time, but can their grandmama do it? Can their mama do it? Can their daddy do it while you in there? But when you come out, when I came out, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go into, I wanna live in that building right there. So told my agent, called me back, he said, oh, you can't live in that building. And I said, well, he said, pick another one. I was like, why? That's the newest one. It's in the Lower East Side. He said, Jay, pick another one. I said, why can't I live there? He said, they got an HOA, Homeowners Association. I said, what does that mean? He said, that means you're a convicted felon. Now think about that. If they send you back, Cam, to your neighborhood, of course you living next door to a convicted felon, right? Most likely, we have another one in our family, right? Or somewhere.
Right.
So it's hard to find, that source. But the hardest part for me was I'm claustrophobic. So putting me, I ain't scared of no wolves. Now look, man, I'm in the northern state, mid-state, Broadway, Rikers Island. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Once they close that door, it could sound like this. Bam. And then you'd be like, whoa. Bam, one more time. And I'd be like, why they gotta lock the damn door twice? And all the stuff that they tell you 6 by 8, that ain't true. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't lay neither way to stretch my legs. And the ceilings were high, but I couldn't stretch my hand and just counting my breath, man. And that's why I would never ever, see anything in a cage and not release it. And that's why I have reentry programs, for people to be truck drivers and construction. Yeah, but let me tell you something, man. And look, I ain't never scared of no wolves. We all been in here. I'm from the Lower East Side. Right. I'm not scared of the wolves in there. I can handle 4 or 5 of them. That means I can handle 15,000 with a track of holds. Right. You know what I'm saying? But it's the way you carried yourself with great humility and the way I carried myself on the street. The way I carried myself on the street is what got me over in there, because I wasn't, trying to, pop my collar on
What's
people.
the craziest thing happened? We'll move past jail. The craziest shit in jail that happened while you were there.
I'll tell you 2 stories. One would remind me about the coffee machine, and I'll tell you this one. We had this brother in there, his name was Joe Johnson. He was like a heavyweight champion. He'd been in jail 25 years. Yeah. So they like became my bodyguard, self-acclaimed, because, when you go to Rodway, they got the booty bandits, and they'd be like, hey, man, they come in and then they surround you, and then one bug can come in.
Jay, when you up here, when you say booty bandits, just say pause after it so nobody talk about you real quick. The booty bandits, you gotta say pause after this.
Okay, all right. So you got the booty bandits. Yeah. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So over there, And what they do, man, is they surround these young kids that come in. They know that you're young. These kids made one mistake, punch somebody in the face, go into jail. Then that's why they take their shoelaces and their belts, and they got saggers. That's where they start wearing their pants like that. So people don't know that. And you're wearing your pants sagging off your butt, they know that you're a newbie, and then somebody come over there and say, hey man, put you in this cell with this guy, he protect you. Then he'll do what he does. So I came in there trying to be a superhero, trying to change that. But changing that, to be honest with you, man, it's just like you, man, through God. Because like people say, oh, everybody, you find God when you go to jail. Man, when they lock that damn door twice and there ain't nobody been in there but you, and you feel like you got just enough air to make it until tomorrow, you better pray on God. So you asked me one of the stories. One of the stories, Cam, so this big dude, Joe Johnson, he was my bodyguard. Boy, you know they big, and you know who just came out of jail. We know, right?
Right.
So they big up here, they got little legs, right? There ain't no legs machines there, right? They just doing chin-ups, right? If you see a white dude and he can play spades, you know damn well he been in jail, right? So, so this dude, Joe Johnson, always with me, 6'10", muscles everywhere, standing behind me all the time. And so one day, I'm telling stories like we telling here. And then one day I told a story about him. I said, man, and then we call him Bojack, right? So I said, man, Bojack. And he's like, what's up, boss? I said, you remember when Paisan was cutting your hair and he was on that heroin and he fell asleep and he messed your hair up? And everybody started laughing, but ain't nobody ever laughed at him. He'd been in there 27 years. Right? So he said, hey, boss, can I talk to you? I was like, yeah. He said, let's go in the bathroom. I said, yeah, let's go in the bathroom, I went in the bathroom, the boy, when he walked, he like Terry Crews, he could make all this bounce around and he said, you see all this? He said, see,
That was crazy.
all these muscles. He said, see all these muscles? He said, man, you see, I can't fight. I got a lot of muscles, but I can't fight. But don't let me jump off on your big ass and find out you can't fight either.
Hey, yo.
And that was the coldest shit somebody ever told me. So when I went back, I was like, whoa, that's cold, right? And then another time, I just saw a guy get, his back broken, and then they went to the coffee machine and just got the coffee melting to death. You see a lot of stuff, man. You stay in there long enough. But hey,
crazy.
but you know what? Cam, this is the thing. Nobody ever came up to me and said, yo, man, let me get your coffee. Let me get your cigarettes. They all said, Jay, when I get out of here, can you help me with a job? Because if a brother got a job, he got respect.
Right.
And we got to get brothers jobs. And I'm glad I'm on this platform such large because I know Jay-Z got a re-entry program. Never called me, and that's my brother. Like, brother, nobody else knows it better than me that you can talk to. It's close, tell you to help you.
We both had battles with Jay-Z.
And then the Kardashians, right? All that other stuff, you got to get people back into society. They're called returned citizens. So you got to help them return.
Are you finding that hard?
I'm finding it, I go into prisons, maybe once a month, and I speak, and then I have a program where I say, look, come to this tractor trailer school and heavy equipment school, and we're gonna help round up a little money if we can, and then get you in there. It has a hotel, and you're gonna run heavy machinery, and then you're gonna drive trucks on our 350 acres, and then you're gonna leave with a job with your CDL Class A, and then you're gonna leave with your certification to move heavy machinery where you can make $25, $30, $35 an hour. And check this out. What's good about that, Cam, think about parole, right? Now they can get themselves in a tractor trailer, and if the parole officer agrees, they up and down the tractor trailer. They can live in the tractor trailer. They don't have to live back in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? They're living in the back while they're making money.
Got you.
But I don't never hear from no one. Nobody ever. I don't hear from Jay. I don't hear from Kardashians. I'm steady doing this stuff myself.
Right.
You know?
Did you know Kim Kardashian before this?
No, and hell no, you ain't gonna trick me into that one.
No,
Not
you
me.
said you're not hearing from them. I want to know why would you be hearing from them?
Well, they got something going. If they do their homework, there's no re-entry.
So,
You know?
so really quick, I want you to be able to elaborate on this for the viewers who are watching. So you did create a re-entry program
Yes.
and rebound treatment center.
Right.
So can you elaborate a little bit on that and things that you've been able to accomplish?
Okay, two different entities in itself. Okay, the re-entry program is for people coming out of jail, men and women, right? They come out of jail, they go up to Jacksonville, Florida. We help them get their driver's license, CDL class
You
A,
from Jacksonville?
right? And then we do heavy equipment. That's one. Now, what I mainly do every day here in Florida, right, is that we have a drug and alcohol treatment center, a retreat, where you come in from anxiety, depression, you know, any kind of drug, and especially with this fentanyl that's going around right now, we get you better. And we're not by going from class to class. We have those too, but do outdoor adventure therapy. So like yesterday, we jumping out of airplanes. The day before, I'm flying an airplane, teaching you how to fly one, doing takeoff and land. You get scuba dive certified.
You
know?
teaching them how to fly?
Yes, and get scuba dive certified also. We doing wave running, paddle boarding. We have horses, goats, all that stuff you're getting on. And we could look right now, me and you can be the toughest dudes in the room. But when I put you in that airplane, 13,000 feet, and you know,
You're not putting me in no airplane.
you know what I'm saying? See, now we getting somewhere though. Now we getting somewhere, right? We getting to the comfort level. You know, then we really start talking about it. You know, so, you know, especially, you know, the brothers, man, we get them on the boat and we be like, they be like, what are we gonna do on this boat? We gonna stay on the boat. And I know we going to 60 feet, man. I can't drink all this water. I said, no, brother, we going down. Plus, you know, and now we had the Newark Fire Department, you know, come down.
Right.
And they came, and now what they did, one dude got better, AD, and he went back and he started teaching people and became a master diver. Now they go all around the world and he put that alcohol and drugs down and they just do scuba diving. So it's, you know, it's not just to get to the core. Everybody wants to label you.
Right.
You know, we didn't have all these labels when we was a kid. You had 2 buses went to school, right? We knew that. And I ain't gonna get in trouble. You had 2 buses, right? And then everybody else,
big
if
one.
you couldn't sit there.
The big bus and a smaller bus.
That's right. And
Why you don't want to say that?
You know?
You don't want to say the little bus?
You know, yeah, you know what happens when you start putting that stuff up. So you had the little buses, you understood that from them. But some people couldn't stand still in class, you know, and the teacher wrote a letter. The next day, now how did that kid get cured? You know, his daddy came home, or his mama let him have it, because his mama ain't got time to go to the school, because she got 4 jobs, right? So we label every time somebody want to keep a clean room. Oh, he got OCD. Nah, he just want to keep a clean room. You know, so every single person have to be labeled. When you come to us, we get you sober, get you off the 20 different pills that you're on now, right? And then we see where you're at. And then our psychiatrist might say, you know something? Yeah, Cam bipolar. Yeah, we might need to, you know, but they might look at him and say, ain't nothing wrong with him, man. That brother's good. But anytime we have any kind of little trauma in our life, we need a pill to take it out. It's not how our body works. You're supposed to have some fear. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's what keeps you alive.
Fear keeps you alive?
Definitely, it keeps me alive because look, how
Wait.
many times, you know, some fear is good fear, Mace. You know,
Where you get that from?
hey, I must be one of your records because I know this. So check this out. I know, I know this. I got 2 strikes, right? You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm about to get him.
You know?
I've been letting him go the whole time.
Yeah,
Go
but
ahead.
you know, 2 strikes. You know, that's, you know, if I jumped off on Benoit, I jumped off on somebody, that's 3 strikes. So that's fear, like not getting in trouble again, because let me tell you
So
something.
you said fear keeps you alive.
Fear keeps you alive, keeps you alert, keeps me.
It keeps you alert. I'll go
Right.
with that. It can keep you alert.
Right.
I'm just asking because I'm responsible to keep the truth on here.
Okay, yeah, it is. You know, it is something that for me, look, man, if they say they got Jayson Williams, he got parking tickets, he got to go to jail for 3 years, y'all might as well put on the news and look over at Cam and say, yo, man, they ain't never taking that brother alive again, because I'm not going back in there. You know what I'm saying? That place is not meant for humans
So you
to be.
saying if you're in a situation and you got to go to jail, you're not going back?
I hope I'm not going back. You know what
I
I'm
hope
trying
he
to
not.
say.
I thought you
know
meant
what I'm
say
saying?
He ain't going
Jay,
back.
Jay, I ain't going back. Guy,
you know,
cool. I thought you ready to shoot out on the highway.
You know.
that's what I took it as.
Jayson, let me ask you something. What was when you came to the idea of saying I'm gonna go on this show? What was your purpose of going on the show?
First of all, I wanted to talk about African Americans and their uneducation of getting treatment. That's
Treatment
one.
from what?
Treatment from addiction, especially with fentanyl being out right now, because our brothers and sisters are dying on the street because they have the one pill, kill pill, and that's not being covered. Like, look, back in the day, you can go to treatment. Now, be honest, I didn't know what it was until I had to go.
Yeah.
But when you come up in there, if you would have said, I'm on crack, that was a code for, oh, you black. You wouldn't come to that treatment center. Yeah. But if you said I was on opioids, you was coming to that treatment center. You know what I'm saying? They have a bed for you. What I'm trying to tell you is happening again, all over again. Now with fentanyl, we are dying at an alarming rate, and we don't have any beds. And it's something that we need to, we need to learn.
How did that become your passion? From like your story,
Right.
Your story is one of triumph. Your story is about defeat. Your story is about overcoming. How did fentanyl become the thing that you're so passionate about?
It was alcohol and everything else that started with me. But then when I opened up my center, right, I think I was just I learned as I went.
Yeah.
I said, well, this guy's just a fall down drunk. We can get him better by structure, empathy, accountability, no white coat and stethoscope would help it.
Yeah.
Then it started changing because you got synthetic marijuana. They're putting different stuff in that stuff now, right? And you can get it right at the supermarket. You can get it right at any gas station. And then, now you go to opioids, and now, what happened there? Like Richard Pryor used to say, he'd be driving down, he said, white couple driving, and they get off the highway and watch, go, look at all these people. It's a shame, on drugs. And get home and find their 14-year-old daughter on drugs and go, damn, it's an epidemic. That means everybody doing it now. And so I grew organically with how it came in. I thought I was just gonna be dealing with people on drugs and alcohol and not as much as mental illness and how strong the drugs have become, and you not knowing what you're getting. Back in the day, you went and got some drugs. I'm guilty of it. You know what you were getting. You know who you was getting with it. Now where it's coming from, they making it as ever they want, and there's no restrictions, and they putting some of that stuff in everything just to keep you addicted to it.
So this is what I want to know. So with everything you've seen throughout your life, right?
Right.
What made you think make those decisions that you made? Since you've seen so many horrible things, what will make you make such a horrible decision?
As the accident, is we using as a base?
Just that's one of them.
See, that wasn't even a decision. That was an accident. So I think as something that I always knew is, look, Jayson means healer. You in the Bible, you know that, Rev. I always like when people. I always like when people can depend on me.
Yeah.
That makes me give me peace. Look, I would love to do what y'all doing. If y'all put another chair up in here, if TNT or ABC or can have another one. Look, I've come up with, I called Lawrence Tell. I said, Jeremy Shockey. I said, how about we do our own morning show? What people would want to hear from us instead of, the straight-laced guys who never got in trouble, you think they're tuned in and listen to. That's what I really would want to do. You know what I'm saying? But those calls haven't been coming into. I want to do what y'all doing.
Why do you think that hasn't happened? Because I got an answer for you. But
I think because, the success, something that happened 23 years ago, I couldn't give you an answer to that. Only thing I could tell you is, man, is just one day at a time, one breath at a time for me to keep going. I'm sincerely sorry for what I've done. I'm remorseful, I'm repentful. I go through it. Sometimes when I'm having too much fun, I sit back and go, man, you shouldn't even be having fun. I beat myself up over it, but I got great people like Curtis Martin as Bible conversations with me every Wednesday and our alumni. So what's holding me back from being back on the set? I guess me, me. Sometimes, you don't want to step out or you want to step out. But here I am telling you, I would love to do what y'all are doing and I would love to be back.
Yeah, we'll bring you back, man.
Yeah.
We'll definitely bring you back. Anything else you want to ask him? No. I got one more question. And I just want to know how this went. How'd you go straight to the pool? Like, how'd that go? Like, yo, fuck that chlorine, gonna clean this off.
Yeah, you know what? You know what happened?
You cleaned that
when
pistol off.
When you hear boom,
Yeah.
I didn't never remember being in it.
Right.
I didn't remember that when they read it.
Right.
I was like, I did what?
So you forgot you jumped in the pool
Didn't
until
even
you
know.
got to court?
Yeah, didn't even know. No, when they give you the discovery.
Okay.
Did you jump in the pool with the gun? Did you clean
No,
the gun?
I think the gun was left. The gun
Oh.
there. The gun went
we
went
got
off.
time to
The gun
ask
was-
questions?
But never.
Yeah, we got some time.
Yeah,
Oh.
never ever.
Because I read that and I was like,
yeah.
you jumped in the pool. So
Never,
you-
no.
That's
That
what I'm
was,
saying.
I was shocked.
Was you
and
just
the pool,
thinking the
and the pool
chlorine-
was 100 yards away, indoor.
So
You know?
So you was thinking that the chlorine maybe could.
I don't know. Maybe I was thinking that, but maybe not. I was just, I must have been thinking something because I ran back up in there. But see, this is the difference though. If I had the right people with me, right, they'd have slapped me and said, yo, Jay, stop.
Right.
You had an accident.
Right.
What the hell are you doing? Don't move.
Right.
Even though we called 911 in 10 seconds. You know,
you
911
did.
was called in 10 seconds. It wasn't like we was
That's
doing
what
all
I was
that.
going to ask you.
No,
If
no,
you-
911 was
what made
called
you go
It was
immediately.
already on the way.
It was already on
Yeah.
the way.
So when they got there, you was wet, pause?
I don't even remember. I didn't even
I
remember.
said pause, nigga.
Yeah.
What the fuck
Yeah.
is you talking
That
about?
was crazy.
I said fucking pause.
That's crazy.
Yo, that's a legit question,
Yeah.
nigga. That's legit. That's a legit question.
Okay. All right. So when all of this is going on, what would you say to the people that think this wasn't an accident? What would you say to them?
I won't say anything to him because I know it was an accident. And I went to court. It was an accident. I didn't know the man, had no beef with the man.
What would you say to somebody like Ja Morant?
Yeah.
What I tell John is, how one 11-second incident walking into your house and after 11 seconds could change your life, the same for him. He might have been told that already,
Well, I think he should look into the camera and
Yeah.
tell it to
Well,
Ja, because Ja will be watching.
What we do want you to do though, seriously, is let people know where they can find your treatment center at if they need help and who to go out to get in contact with you and your people.
What is it, Grace? Reboundforlife.org. Okay. If you need to get in contact with me, it's reboundforlife.org, and it's the 4 and 1-877-2-REBOUND.
Okay. Again,
Why you
Jayson.
don't know your shit by heart?
Man, I don't be much with that. You know?
Do you really love to do what you're doing while you actually a man? Are you just the face for this shit, or you really?
I think you should have went in the
Yo,
camera
are you
and
the
spoke
face, or you really
directly to
behind this,
Ja.
Jay? He put the work in? All right.
And then before we go to break, Jayson, do you have any next steps that you would like?
Hey, thank you for coming, man.
Man,
We
y'all
appreciate you
hard,
guys,
man.
man.
Y'all-
Definitely.
Yeah. No, just brother, glad to see how y'all doing it up in here too.
Thank you, man.
This for real.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I do a podcast, I'll be like, but y'all got it, green room, makeup, protection, everything else up in here, man. The producers, executive producer, Cord,
I appreciate that. We just
this
ain't
for
know how he
real.
was coming. He ain't on set every day. We just making sure he's all right. Man.
Oh shit! Oh man!
We ain't know how you was coming through. So but thank you, Jay. Man. We appreciate you, man. Make sure y'all go check out Jay's rehabilitation and treatment center. Sounds like fun. I mean, it sounds so good that I almost wished. Well, no, I don't wish that, but you got stuff for people who not on drugs. You got all type of activities and shit.
You're always welcome to come to Rebound and join us.
Thank you. So if you see me there, I'm not fucked up.
Right.
I'm just going to support.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, Jayson, thank you so much, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
She called this thing about toxic. 4 years and counting. Got you feeling like an option. Maybe I'm my own problem, babe. She tired of hearing I don't know. What's stubborn in me won't fall. Dealing with this thing called trust. But she ain't really thinking about it. She wanna be free.
Welcome back. Now, we gotta talk about the interview with Jayson Williams. I think everyone wants to know both of y'all's thoughts. So let's take a recap.
I think the guy was capping so much. That's why we needed a recap. There was so much cap going on. I don't even know where to start.
So you saying he lied this whole interview that we just did? The whole interview's a lie.
Put the poll up right
Hey,
now.
yo,
Pause.
man,
Yeah,
yo,
pause.
yo, God
I'm
damn,
saying, I'm
yo.
trying to.
My bad. You right. I'm being unprofessional. My bad. We said we. My bad.
Yeah, let's be professional.
Yeah, my
for
bad.
this.
My bad.
So since we're professional right now, we don't have to say pause, but check it out. Right. He was lying about 95 to 92%.
95? You think that whole interview was a lie? 95% of it? What part? Give me two lies. Give me two.
Okay. The first thing when I asked him about did the molestation go on, he never even answered it. He covered everything he did with an accomplishment. Everywhere there was brokenness, he put accomplishment there. What do you think?
Well, I want to know your second point.
And then when he said he jumped in the pool, he jumped in the pool after he shot the gun. And then he came back and said he called 911. It was just a lot. It was so many, you could just go down the list.
I will say this part though. My nigga, so the people, and no disrespect because somebody actually died or got hurt.
Right.
But he said it was almost movie-like that the person who did it, his friends dragged him to him and gave him a gun and said, finish him. This is the person who did this. And you
to his sister.
To his sister.
And he said he couldn't do it because he's not a killer. And then in another interview with Vlad, he said that he was talking with Michael Jordan and pretty much Mike said, you're a better person than him.
Right. I just thought that was kind of dramatic. Not saying it's not true. I don't know, and especially the situations with his sister. That was pretty bad, but it looked like he had a drink. It looked like he had a drink before he came, or three.
He smelled like wine coolers.
My man's ready to pop a nigga too if need be. You see that nigga on deck. You ain't gonna come up in.
Yeah, you won't run in here with that.
Nah, you ain't no accidents today, baby. We ain't doing the accident thing. That
I wanted to ask you, but I couldn't get into it.
The nigga said he shot a nigga like this.
He said he did. He passed the gun.
He said he wasn't looking. He said boom like this.
And then he got another lie. He said he passed out like 7 guns, and on the 8th gun, it's the one that went off.
He did say that.
Do you think he was capping?
I think some of the situations weren't making sense.
Like what? Which one?
So in other words,
which one?
You know why I fuck with you, Step Baby? Because you say capping professionally. Some of the situations seem like they weren't making sense. In other words, he was capping. Okay, what situation didn't make sense in your opinion?
So there's a couple things. One, when he said that he immediately jumped in the pool and he was talking about why he did it, I didn't think that made sense. Also, when he was talking about—
But not to cut you off, because I like that point.
Yeah.
Because how you immediately jump in the pool if it's 100 yards away?
Yeah, that
and
didn't
how
make
did you
sense.
call 911 and jump in the pool? Which one, champ?
And he said he didn't remember that, but you don't remember running 100 yards jumping in an indoor pool?
And y'all asked, you guys said in court, so you just forgot certain stuff. And he's like, well, I didn't forget it, but like that didn't really make sense.
But that's what trauma does to you. That's another thing he was capping about. The trauma makes you remember only certain things. Come on, we from the trauma capital of the world.
That's a fact. What else? I want to hear more of your opinions.
So I do have to add another part that he did say with the whole St. John's things.
Yeah.
He touched on it, but he didn't finish his explanation when he said that his daughter spoke up against
That
his
was
honor.
another one.
He didn't go back
If you
to it.
raised
What part
your
are you talking about?
kids,
Because I want to know what y'all are talking about.
Right. So
What part did
basically,
say?
he was being honored by St. John's, and his daughters actually came out and said that he doesn't need to be honored because growing up, he
wrote
never
a
took
letter.
care of us.
They
wrote a
wrote a
letter,
letter.
and it was in print. And for those who are watching, like that did happen. You can search it up.
Yeah.
He touched on it, stopped. And
then he
Mason's
went
gonna
into
go
his,
into it, but he went
his
into something else and went into his
accomplishments.
accomplishments and his
He went into
training
his
facility.
accomplishments.
So I
and-
did, I kept let him continue, but there were some things that was like.
Did you catch anything else?
I mean, obviously there is the Michael Jordan part as well, and then
What part about
that
Michael
was
Jordan?
super cap.
basically he was saying
That
that
was
he
super
credited
cap.
he credited him.
Killer,
It's just
that
like, I
was
couldn't-
super cap.
I mean, obviously I don't know Michael Jordan, but I could not see him going and saying that real quick, whispering in the ear, and then going to play the game. Like that didn't really make sense. I don't really see
He
that
said
coming from
Mike
him.
walked up to him the first time he ever met him and said, "You're gonna have a great career
Yeah.
as a
I
rookie."
could not see that, and I feel like if
I
he
was
said
waiting
that,
for some. That's like, first of all, I'm gonna keep it 100. We never hear Mike giving nobody
That's
no
what I was gonna
motherfucking
say, like,
props.
he
Mike
just-
Scotty's
disrespecting
still waiting on his credit.
Yeah, he disses everybody.
And then he said Mike said that from a rookie. That was great.
What else you catch?
So my last thing was just like the fights off the court. He was elaborating a little bit on that. You did ask him to touch up on it. He gave you the story of Larry Bird and other people, but he didn't really get into it.
He's
So
a
it's like
spin king.
He's
When you
spin king.
He's a spin king. When you start asking about one thing, he spin his way out
Yeah.
and start talking about other shit.
And what
Look,
what
Jay,
else he said that was
I thought
crazy?
your story was sincere, man. I appreciate you coming through. Murder and Stack got other opinions, man. I'm gonna keep it 100. I'm gonna keep it 100. To drag the niggas to your brother, I'm not for that. I'm not saying that happened. It was a little traumatic.
But I will add, and no disrespect to him. We really appreciate you
thank you.
coming out on the show.
Thank you
and
so
speaking
much.
out with us. Definitely heard your story and wanted to hear what you had to say. But people are gonna say a little bit of things. We felt some type of way about some type of things. We're not saying that what you said isn't true. We've got to clarify that. We're not saying that what he said was not
Mace
true.
said shit ain't
but
true.
Mace did say it. Mace said cap. Mace said cap.
I said it while he was here though, but we couldn't get into all the cap that he was doing
I
because
think
he was capping too fast.
what I think is he knows that he's gonna be questioned about this.
Yeah.
This was 20 years ago, and he got that shit down packed to know how to spin off
Yeah.
and go here, go whatever. But I think he does regret what happened.
Yeah,
I think
for
he
sure.
does. I think he really does.
For sure.
Yeah, and listen, if you're really trying to move on, you start with the truth. That's where you move on from. You're not really going to be able to move on until you address the real truth.
But this is the thing. See, let me tell you something, and I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I'm not supporting what he did, but when niggas panic, you like, oh, I shot a nigga. Yo,
Yeah,
help me
yeah.
do this. Help me do that. So your brain is just all over the place if you're not that type of nigga.
Yeah.
So I'm not supporting what he did, but I get that the nigga panicked and tried to do all that. But elaborating what you just said.
Yeah.
If
When you come back to us,
no.
tell us the truth.
Yeah, but no. What I'm
Yeah.
about to tell you is absolutely right. But what I was saying is, it started a lie.
Yeah.
The whole shit. Once it started a lie,
The lie mobile.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
and he
just
was
don't
going
stop.
downhill in the lie mobile.
my nigga.
And his speed just got
Yeah,
faster.
like the shit. After he shot the guy, the very first thing was start planning the lie.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So from there, man,
And
it's your
then
choice.
Benoit did him dirty.
No, but on some G shit,
Yeah.
do you believe he seen Benjamin Benoit last week?
Now we got to have him up here to tell his side.
Yeah, let's find
'Cause he-
Benjamin. Yo, Benjamin Benoit. Reach out to us and let us know if you tried to leave with Jay Will
Yeah.
last week when you seen him. Or
Oh
if you
my
seen him.
goodness.
But real talk, yo, it takes a lot of courage to come up here
It
because we ain't
does.
gonna hold no shots
Yeah.
or pull no punches. So Jay Will, much respect. Pardon me, Jason Williams, because Jay Will he changed his name to Jay Will. So Jason
Yeah.
Williams, we appreciate you.
Of course. And again, Jason, we do appreciate you. Although we have our thoughts, we don't want to take away from the main message. There are a lot of mental health issues, especially
Yes.
in the Black community. There's no joke there. So if you need
Mhm.
resources or need help, please reach out. And also, we want to know you guys' thoughts on social media. So make sure to go on Twitter, Instagram, #ItIsWhatItIs, and share your thoughts. Thank you for watching and stay tuned for the next episode.
nigga. Everything nigga super size. Two big necks. Like when they doing them 2 for